Welcome to Raw on Anfield Index and Anfield Index Pro. I'm Trev Downey, podcasting to you from my field here in beautiful rural Ireland in the middle of the night after Liverpool have pulled off a very late win against Newcastle. Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 3, and I am joined by Dave Hendrick and Guy Drinkel to get their thoughts in the immediate aftermath. Dave, Guy and I were just saying before you joined us that if we'd had the sort of the minerals, that's exactly how we'd have liked this to play out, that game in exactly that fashion. It's kind of the way you'd want to win it, just for the extra wind-up factor for all those sad Geordies who've been sickening our happiness for the last couple of weeks and nearly a month at this stage. But none of us really would want that. And to be fair, the win came kind of very much against the run of play and on the back of an absolutely issue-laden performance that we'll have to pull apart.
Oh, yeah, look, I mean, we were largely terrible tonight. I think ultimately you come away from that game, Virgil was unbelievable, Szobozlai was unbelievable, one or two were okay with some flaws, and most were absolutely atrocious. But the game breaks in our favour. We score after getting absolutely battered for half an hour. We score against the run of play. Then the game is kind of in a lull because it's a sucker punch for them. They start to build themselves back up again, though, and the crowd are starting to get back into it. And then there's two huge moments either side of the half-time, which obviously with the half-time means they're about 18, 20 minutes apart, but in actual playing time, they happen within 3 minutes of each other. Anthony Gordon gets sent off, and then Hugo scores that goal at the start of the second half. And from there, you want to see us just control the game. And it looked like we were going to, and there was about 5 minutes where I thought we might actually put 3 or 4 past them here. And then they got a second lift. And even with key injuries, like, I don't know how Sandro Tonali played on, because it looked like he popped his shoulder out of the joint. That's one tough boy. Joelinton gets hurt. You never like to see a player get injured, but I think I'll make an exception for him. They get back into it. The first goal is bad from our point of view. The second goal is even worse. And then it looks like there's only going to be one winner. Like, once again, they are absolutely battering us, and it looks like there's only going to be one winner. And then somehow we go up the field, the nice intricate move, and it's a moment of footballing genius from Szobozlai to leave that ball, to make that run and step over that ball. And you couldn't script it. Like, you couldn't have scripted Chiesa scoring the winner in the first game. You couldn't have scripted a 16-year-old coming off the bench to make his Premier League debut in the second game. And it's such an assured finish. Like, he has passed that ball with venom into the back of the net, giving Nick Pope no chance. And somehow we've gotten away with it.
That could be it could be a career maker for that kid.
It could absolutely. I mean, look, the confidence he's going to have now.
Oh, the bounce in that kid's step. But here's the thing, and the thing that characterizes it, just before I bring Guy in for his opening thoughts, it's a phrase you'll be well familiar with, having roughed it around local leagues in football and played high-level rugby in the local area as well and around Ireland. We were, and I coin a local phrase, soft as shite.
Yes.
And that's a fucking issue, Dave.
It is an issue, Trev. But last season, like, the hardy member of our midfield was Alexis McAllister, who's 5'8", 5'9", not exactly the quickest player in the world. And a player known mostly for, like, his game intelligence and how he links things together. But he was kind of forced into that role. Szobozlai had to do a lot of the enforcing as well, and we didn't have any kind of tough lads in the front line outside of Diaz. Has a bit of it about him because of, his background. Darwin obviously is psychotic, but in mostly the wrong ways. But we have for a long time been far too nice. Even under Jurgen, like, Robbo always had Needle. Mane always had Needle. Fabinho was kind of the only real enforcer in that team, though. You know, now we don't even have that. We've got a couple of lads that have, sufficient Needle. I thought Kirkes, Hugo. I think there's a bit there about him as well that I quite
There
like.
is. Yeah, there is.
But there's no enforcer in this team. And
But when you've got a unit like Ibu Kanate, like playing like a lottery winner, flapping about at things,
I think that's disrespectful to lottery winners, Trev.
it might be.
I think like him and Gravenberg tonight, that's two of the worst performances. Like, that's full Dejan Lovren from both of them tonight. At least Gravenberg scored a goal, but he was at fault for their second goal. So was he. Gravenberg had a bigger role in it, but like that's full Lovren performances from them two lads tonight. And like one Lovren was bad enough. We can't be going around with two.
Guy, never go full Lovren should be a phrase that is employed.
I think we need that as a t-shirt on the Anfield Index shop. Never go full Lovren.
I think so.
Double Lovren and a win. That's the dream there.
But like we will get into it. It's impossible not to get into it as we go through the details of the match. But again, just to focus, in case people think we're losing sight of the fact that we have come away with an absolutely glorious win here in terms of the nature of it at the end. You would like myself have said, look, we'll take these 3 points whatever way we can get them until we settle into some sort of a flow, if you'll pardon the pun, because we are trying to play through Verts, aren't we? And there are obvious teething troubles with that, as far as I can see. The way the style of play feels a little bit stilted at times, as if fellas don't have that natural flow. We don't have that natural impetus that we used to have with our fullbacks bombing on to quite the same extent because of it. Now, hopefully that will even itself out and work itself out. But at the moment, you can see that there's teething troubles, isn't there, with the system as it is?
Well, look, we played through a Real Madrid bench warmer for the last 8 years, so
True.
I mean, when was the last time we played through a number 10? Phil? Coutinho?
Yeah,
That's probably it. And no one's around except Mo for half a season and Robbo. That's about it, I think. Like, we have not played through a actual number 10 in a long, long time. And that's not an excuse why we can't manage games and stuff like that. As you said, teething issues is the right word. But this match just to me screams that Alexis McAllister might actually be more important than we thought. Like, we knew he was probably already like a top 3 important player. He might be a top 1 important player, which is scary to say considering Van Dijk was amazing tonight, in my opinion, and Mo Salah's just won Player of the Year for the 3rd time, which is a record or whatever it is. So, it's a worry. Like, the performance was a worry, but as you said, if we could have scripted it, in terms of piss boiling, I mean, you couldn't have done it better. Like, I'm sure everyone's seen that WWE footage that went round last night with the lad in the Izak shirt. I was at the show. They were so mad.
Were they really?
Do you know the chat? Was it the Barmy Army Toonami, whatever the song is? They was chanting that through the entire match, like the wrestling match. It was funny. They were so angry. Like, that is an angry city right now. It really, like, genuine fume. It's amazing.
The indignation, I think, is almost best summed up in the sort of stiff-shirted, priggish head of Alan Shearer, and I couldn't be happier for the lad. Like, it is something that we need to revel in. So we will several times this evening, but let's get ourselves underway here because we don't want to be here all night. And just to talk briefly about the teams, and I'll stay with you here, Guy, for this. The 11 that we went with, like, theoretically is strong enough with Dom standing in at right back, Kirk is on the far side, Van Dijk and Konate, and obviously Ali in goal, with Jones, Gravenberg and Verts nominally around those central areas, and then Salah, Gakpo and Ekitike as the more traditional attacking players. it's undeniably a strong team. What we can see, the truth of it is, on the night tonight, and maybe in general, it does lack that little bit of grit. Now, it's not every night you're going to see Kanate hopefully wandering around like a lottery winner. Again, apologies to lottery winners. It's not every night Gravenberg's going to come back from having a baby, because obviously I'm going to go full Roy Keane here and go, I don't know, like when I heard we were missing Mac tonight, all I could think was just pure Roy Keane,
Did he have the baby?
Did he have the baby? Yeah. That's exactly where I've been all day going, like, I know it's terribly Gen X stroke boomer of me. I don't care. But we clearly that little bit of grit is missing. But with Ekitike on the pitch, with Mo Salah on the pitch, like I say, Gravenberg coming back should have been a great thing. Szobozlai at right back was something we were all looking forward to seeing how that could go. It could be really dynamic. You talked about how Trent used to quarterback games. Dom has that in him. So I was really looking forward to it. Like, it was a solid looking 11. However, when you go to the bench, Guy, obviously we've got Mama there for stepping in for goal. We've got Gomez, Endo, Bradley, Chiesa, Leone, Elliott, Robertson, and Gamoa. There's no goals there, eh?
Well, unless we have the best young player in the world, maybe.
Yeah. So the question is your reaction when you saw the initial 11. What do you think?
Yeah, I think again the actual players was correct. I think the only question mark was whether it'd be Jones at right back or Dom at right back, because Jones had played there in actual Premier League games, whereas Dom, he did it in one of the pre-season ones, if I remember correctly. So that was probably the only question mark. But yeah, there was like zero other options unless Bradley or Gomez was much fitter than we thought. And then the question mark would be, would you put Dom into midfield, because their midfield will run over us and did run over us. And then would you shift Verts over at the left? Yada, yada, yada. I think they were the only question marks. But, I mean, looking at when Bradley came on, he clearly wasn't fit because he was kind of weak. I know he ran up and down a lot, but he was a bit sluggish, I thought. And he did, like, lazy fouls when he came on. And considering what he came on the 80th minute, which was probably about 50 minutes of game time, thanks to Simon Hooper. But yeah, he looked very sluggish. So if he started, it would have been worse. But Dom will probably be one of our main good talking points from the game. I genuinely thought it's between him and Van Dijk for man of the match. But considering Dom was out of position, I thought he was phenomenal. He probably stopped 2 goals himself just by defending. And he technically doesn't have an assist, but that dummy for the last goal is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's an assist.
That is,
yeah. That is an assist. I think
you've cut him one short. I think he saved 3 goals in that first half.
Very possibly.
There's the little flick that he gets on the cutback from Alanga. There's the tackle on Gordon from 3 yards out.
Yes.
And there's a brilliant back post header as well.
Yes.
He defended crosses tonight. Genuine. And I'm not saying this for hyperbole. I'm not saying it because of the moment. And I'm certainly not saying it just to have a dig at the fella, because he was sat on the bench for Real Madrid last night. He defended crosses better last night than Trent ever did as a right back. He was so locked in and focused. And yeah, like, some of his positioning was a little bit awkward, and he made one rash challenge and Gordon flung himself on the ground and flopped about like a fish out of water. But other than that, I thought he was absolutely incredible at right back.
And that one was early on, David. He kind of self-corrected. There was no more. He was, as you say, locked in. He was just watching. He just got better and better as that game went on.
Right, the Reds, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts, and even Liverpool legends along the way. With the Great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at AnfieldIndexPro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.